Happy Father's Day, Mauricio. You are such an incredible dad. Your girls think you walk on water, and it's beautiful for me to see that. You are not the best bug killer in the world, but you are an amazing dad who loves and supports your girls so much. And for that, I salute you today. I love you.
Me and my dad had, great adventures, growing up. He's very, he doesn't talk much. Like, he's very kind of like shy and everything, but anything he does say is always just funny. And he has such a dry sense of humor. But one of my favorite times I had with my dad was going down to Cape Canaveral in Florida to my very first shuttle launch. And that's what really got me so obsessed with space, was going down there with my dad and grandfather and watching my first shuttle launch. And it was just such an incredible trip.
Yeah, my son's now a pilot for FedEx. I really loved those memories when, he was little and I was taking him in the airplane, because I'm a pilot as well. Mm-hmm. And those memories of taking him up, and seeing the expression on his face of, this is so cool, So, I think that would probably be it.
I don't think that would surprise people that, know Nick. He's very gregarious and boisterous and all over the place, and he's kind of a big kid himself. But he really is fun, and he lets those girls climb all over him, and just to see him and watch him kind of build them up, and they know without a shadow of a doubt that their father worships the ground that they walk on. He admires them so much, and it's so sweet to hear how he just shares each little nugget of admiration with them and why. And it's really, my father just passed away suddenly in November, and he really he was the model of what it felt like to be loved, and I am so grateful that I married a man very similar to that.
So me and my dad are itching to get back down to the Florida Keys, because it was 3 Father's Days ago. We went down to the Keys. We went tarpon fishing. And tarpon fishing is one of the coolest things you'll ever do when it comes to fishing, because you got these huge 150-pound fish, and they roll on top of the water. And they look like dragons. It looked like little sea serpents. It's so cool. And we did that, and we fought them. And we had 2 on. We didn't catch anything, but it was such a fun time. And then
that was a really interesting learning experience for my husband and I, or honestly just for Andrew as a dad, was going into having a kid. Everyone told him that, the first however many months, it's kind of mom and baby, because mom feeds, mom takes care, it's whatever. And when we switched to formula, it was awesome, because he had this bonding experience he would never have had otherwise. And I would go into, a room and pump, because we would do 50-50 milk and formula, and he would go into the nursery and rock her and feed her. And it's just this beautiful bonding experience, seeing my husband and her interact, and her just look at him and him feed her. And it's the most beautiful bond.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it makes you fall in love with your husband all over again, and a different way that you'd never have.
I would just say how loving he is. He's very affectionate. I didn't grow up in the most affectionate household, so seeing that, especially from a man, and he tells them he loves them 100 times a day, and it's always hugging and kissing, and I feel like that's going to definitely mold them into those types of people, which makes me really happy. But I think him just being, and it doesn't matter who's around, he is the most affectionate, loving dad ever, and that's probably my favorite thing.
What would be your perfect Father's Day?
Well, it depends if we're in quarantine or not, but if this is all done by then, I just want to get out on the golf course and be outside and just drink a beer and have a good night out and have my mom watch the kids, something like that.
We're desperate for a night out with kids, without kids. Yeah.
Robert, if you could describe your ideal Father's Day.
I'm living it right now. Spending this kind of time. If you can look past the economic and the human factor for so many people because of this disease, the real silver lining for me is getting to spend this much time with Kim and the babies and doing it on a consistent basis. This is the new normal, and I love it.
Having 6 girls in the house, I think that our girls are pretty well adjusted and kind of down for whatever, even all the boy stuff, and just even seeing the girls outside chasing lizards in the backyard and not being afraid of that and stuff.
Catching June bugs. They like adventure. They like new things. They're like us. You know, they like
a lot of the things that I like, which is, I mean, it's a proud dad moment, I guess, right there. Just like the day-to-day things that like our kids are involved in.